actually what Makati used to play so much as well, Skarner. I wonder if it's going to get locked in. This is a champion he played so much in the EU Nordic East days. How could I even forget it? And it is going to get locked in. So Mio Makers casting their way back to a year ago and really seeing those champions in action. The fact that Jace has been selected as well means we're going to get some serious hammer time possibly coming out of Sharu. But actually, I'm thinking that might be Kubon in the top, you know.
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, to me, he always seems to play like these tanky kind of champions. It always could be. I mean, Jace...
What the hell? Rengar!
Oh, man. I'm thinking about North America with that one now. But we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that. Calm down. Because I want to talk about the Skarner.
I'm excited.
I am too, actually. Because you mentioned he plays Skarner quite a bit. He also plays Udyr. But Skarner, he hasn't really been played too often because of his W. You get a speed increase, but when that shield disappears, then you obviously can't move as fast. Jet talked about this actually quite a bit in the spring split when he was here in week 4. So if he gets his shield pretty much taken away, he won't be as fast. He won't be able to get in and pull someone. But the thing is, Rengar, he wants to jump into the backside. He wants to one-shot your AD carry. So if he pulls him right when he gets in, it's like, all right, you just did absolutely nothing and you're dead. So he has quite a few targets to pick here. And Kevin, actually, no. That's going to potentially be in the jungle. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Rengar's in the jungle.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if it will be jungle or if it will be Shen, but either way, it's going to be awesome.
It's not going to be at Sao Mei. It's going to be definitely the jungler. It's going to be Hercubot that's going to be running it. Ryze is going to get selected by the looks of it, so that could be Sharu in the mid lane. Or will it be the top lane against Shen? That would work very well for Kubon, actually. This is an interesting setup. Skarner we've not seen for forever in the LCS,
Yes.
and Rengar a long time. It's definitely not in Europe.
I've actually been playing solo queue a couple of times, and I had Rengar jungle a couple of times on my team, and when he comes in, if he can sneak into your bush, whichever side, top or bottom, and he just jumps at the other team when you have a ward in their bush, it's just pretty ridiculous how much damage he can do if he does max that Q.
Indicative of 3.8, the fact that it's working so much better for those speedy single target champions now.
Yeah, because you don't really need a lot of AoE to clear jungle camps so quickly. But I'm curious to see if Mikado will be able to counter jungle him a little bit. I mean, Hercubot, he's always talked about how he can play Shaco on a really high level, but his team doesn't let him play it because obviously Shaco doesn't work out too well. It didn't work out for him in Katowice.
Yeah, Katowice.
It didn't work out for him there, but he always says how he's pretty good at Shaco. And I'm curious to see how good his Rengar is if he does use it, but we did just see a last-second switch. So I have 5 seconds left. Not sure if he'll switch back, but I would think that would most likely be top lane than jungle.
It is, yes. It's in the jungle.
All right.
It's in the jungle. So it's going to be Rengar in the jungle, so they've switched around. It will be Sharu actually playing Jace up against Ocelot's Orianna. We'll see whether that's the same lanes they stick with, which means it will be Kubon against Shen, as we have a zoomed in close upon a camera in a camera. This is like Inception right now. Cameraception going on. And you can see, it looks like it's been running for quite a while. That's definitely not the time, is it? I hope not. It's not 11 o'clock already, is it? It may be.
No, it's actually, I think, around 8 or 9.
Yeah, I was going to say, gee, I'm like thinking, God, are we already at that time? It's been a long day. I know some of the first games were long, but we've had some pretty short ones as well for myself and Joe. But there is a man under pressure, and well, he's pulled out Rengar, so we'll see how that is going to work right now for SK Gaming, because they are bottom of the league right now. They really need a win.
Now, let me ask you something here, because it's really interesting to me to look at this, to use such a new jungler. But you haven't really seen too much in LCS pretty much halfway through the season. When you know a lot's on the line, you're sitting there at dead 8 right now. Do you think this is like a smart play by him to catch people off guard, or if it's just like I want to try something new?
And you say pretty much what I was about to say is literally this is a case of now is the time to actually start throwing caution to the wind and actually going for it, because you have to start winning games by hook or by crook. And whether they're going to throw out a Rengar in the jungle and maybe catch people by surprise because they haven't seen him in so long, he can be very strong. He used to be incredibly strong until the big nerf bat came out, but unfortunately he hasn't been used for a very long time, and maybe that's for a purpose. But then again, we've not seen Skada for a while either, so number of champions being used by both teams, and they are going to have some possible invades here.
Oh no, we're going to see Kubon actually face check. He gets spotted!
Shadow Dash gets in there. It will be first blood. It's Orianna that picks up the kill, so Ocelot will be happy with that one. And just like that, Kubon was melted.
He was not there for long at all, and Hercubot actually took his Boa Strike. He took his E just to get the slow, just to guarantee a kill there, so he's going to be a little bit slower in the jungle, but it's not going to matter too much. You got that first blood over to Ocelot. Like, he is amazing on Orianna. His statistics might not show it, but he really is. And giving him an early kill, which gives him boots, gives him health pots in lane, is going to be very dangerous for Charu.
Yeah, Charu's going to have struggles against that. Of course, Charu taking teleport, as well as Ocelot, by the way. So, again, having to counter him with that teleport. We'll see how that works out. The fact that they have got a teleport and Shen, of course, with Stand United. This is effectively what Meteor Makers do. They can stack up. They can 5-man you, effectively, if Hercubot's down there in that bottom lane.
There's a key thing we haven't touched on as well. If Shen ults an invisible target, you can't see Shen coming.
Oh.
So if Rengar ults in whichever lane, because the thing is, if you put the ball on top of him, you can't see the ball anymore either. That's an explosive combo of having Shen in there, having the Orianna ultimate, having Shen taunt. It's just, you can blow up the team if you time that perfectly. And honestly, it's really hard to do that. And if you can see on your screen, Meteor Makers are not sure if SK's actually at blue here. So they're going to face check. They're going to realize they're not there. And we'll be able to pick up their own blue.
Yeah, Makler came around. Libic also face checking into the bush. And they do manage to take away that blue buff. So no big invades coming out. First blood was for Ocelot though. Hercubot will be taking away that red buff to start. Didn't use the smite. Looks like smite's not going to be used by Makata either. So nobody going for those smite starts. We'll see which way that goes. We are going to have standard meta, standard lane setups here, which means we are going to see Libic and Makler on Varus and Zyra up against Candy Panda, who's playing Vayne for the first time in a long time, as far as I'm aware, and Nif, of course, on Sona, who we've seen so often using those flash crescendos to great success. Kevin and Kubon in this top lane, Shen and Ryzen. Honestly, I actually think Kubon's going to have the better of this lane.
I think it depends on terms of how much harass Kevin takes earlier, how much mana they can make Kubon use. But yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. He has the auto attack, the range advantage. He has the lockdown with his rune prison. We do see, though, Hercubot's already visiting up towards his top side. There is a ward in that bush, though, so they will be able to spot him coming in, and that would honestly shut him down a little bit and really make him waste time, and also give Makata time to get to the top side to counter this if they want.
Yeah, Makata taking the red buff. It shows actually the speed of Hercubot, the fact that he did get it there so much quicker than Makata. Makata has got the double buff now. He's going to go towards Golems, but Hercubot's wasted a bit of time lingering around that bush, tri-bush area, and he's going to go back and take the wolves off there, so no ganks come in just yet. 3 minutes gone. They're not going for any crazy 3.5-minute tower strats that we've seen in the past, and instead it is going to be slow and steady.
And yeah, you gotta give. I mean, I really like seeing this new champion on Hercubot. I love how, you know, you mentioned throw caution to the wind at this point. Considering you're last, you need to make some big plays happen. And so far, the Rengar's been working out quite well. As Candy Panda obviously has the tumble. He's gonna be able to escape Libic's grasping roots quite well. Even it doesn't matter how good you are as a Zyra, if you can't, you know, land it when a Vayne's tumbling against you, it's really not going to work out too well for you. But the Stranglethorns, he's always been one of those people that lands them every single time in the perfect position, pretty much like Babetta back in the spring split. And here's to see if he'll be able to do that yet again. Hercubot, though, heading down towards the bottom side of the map, whether it's for golems or for a gank, we'll see as time goes on.
Well, and the mid lane, we haven't really had a look at that one, but of course Orianna on Ocelot, or Ocelot on Orianna, either way when you want to look at it. Did get that first blood, so he's keeping up that CS up against a Jace. Jace is going to be causing problems. Probably will go for that Tear of the Goddess. You can see he's already starting to build towards it, so he's just going to try and stack that out. So many times we've seen Jace is doing incredibly strong, but we have seen a few backfiring effectively and not working out there. Hercubot sneaking into the bush there is going to come around. Are they going to catch on towards Libic? I'm not too sure.
He can jump in the bush.
Oh, he tried to jump, couldn't quite catch it with a red buff. That would have slowed down. Bolo wasn't there either. Couldn't get onto Libic. Good flashes used across the board though.
Yeah, Libic flashed out of the condemn, which pushed him away into a Bolo strike that ended up getting locked down anyways. But that was a good attempt because obviously, if you guys don't know Rengar, if you're in a bush because of the passive, you can jump out of it. You leap out on your next auto attack. So depending on your attack speed, you can leap multiple times, or, you know, really fast or really slow. But still, it makes your ganks really strong because that whole gap closer is really good for any kind of jungler. But Makata, he's sticking around the top side. Kubon, he could rune prison him and pretty much allow this gank to happen, though Kevin does have flash and does have his taunt still.
This is clever play by Kubon because he's just baiting it in very nicely. Kevin's going to face check straight in towards him. Makata's there. He's got the red buff to slow him down. There's going to be the rune prison. Could this be first blood? It should well be. It won't be first blood because we've already had that one. It'll be first kill for Meteor Makers nevertheless, though.
And Skarner is one of the hardest champions to escape from just because he has an inherent slow with his Q on the second proc, and of course he's sitting there with red buff, so you're not really going to get away from him. But giving Kubon that early advantage when Rises typically have a very weak early game, it's going to mean it's going to end his early game a little bit quicker. He's going to move into his tier, which he has, and his Rod of Ages relatively soon, and it's going to make him so tough to deal with for Kevin.
Nif's continuing to get a little bit of poke from Libic. Libic doing a fantastic job, and we've seen so many times how he can be so strong on Zyra. There's Grasping Root, and the Stranglethorn later on are going to be vital in this matchup because they're going to have to set those ultimates. Hercubot unfortunately stood on top of a ward. They know exactly where he is, and Makata is moving into position to take his wraiths and just cover off. Hercubot sat ready and waiting, but there's no way Shara is falling for this.
He's going to back away. So, I mean, Hercubot, I don't want to say he's wasting time at all because he's still soaking up experience from that bush and he's going to help push the lane out a little bit. I'll slip it back. Yeah, of course. And that's honestly, I still haven't grasped that concept yet when I play, but you have to do that a lot more in 3.8, and I'm still just trying to figure that out. But you have to lane tax a little bit more, push the lane up, because then it gives your AP mid or wherever lane you're in the chance to buy up and to get back to lane strong without missing out on too much.
Of course, transferring that and communicating it with your team is a little bit different than solo queue than it is in a LCS matchup here. We are seeing good farm from both these top laners, though. Good farm from the mid as well, and the bottom, to be fair, all even across the board. We are seeing Mikado a little bit ahead in terms of farming over Hercubot, which has equated to him being ahead in level. Has hit 6, so we'll see whether he uses that ultimate to grab hold of someone and effectively drag them back, screaming and kicking to your ally.
See, I'm thinking, what is Hercubot actually going to build on this Rengar? Because I would imagine he would not build too tanky. So with your invisibility, obviously you can be seen from an Oracle, but the chance to have Shen ulti you and the Orianna combo come down, it looks like they're really trying to make sure that that combo works, and from that kind of pick up the kills. So I think he's actually going to build quite a bit of damage. But I want to see exactly what he does build here, because when was the last time we ever saw Jungle Rengar? And the only time I can think of was when he was released, played by Diamond Prox. A long time ago.
Long time ago, before the ice, before the snow. Lived a man named Sir Psycho. We're not going to go down that route, but it is going to be Escape Panda. You just don't know song lyrics, do you?
I didn't say anything.
Red Hot Chili Peppers this time.
Oh, okay, I know them. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're from your town, I believe, or at least your state. Yeah, we're close anyway. Nevertheless, blue buff being picked up. It's going to be Charu that takes that one away, and he's going to be going to the mid lane very happy indeed. Got themselves that pickaxe and the Tear of the Goddess. Tear of the Goddess also was picked up by Kuban a long time ago. Has just gone back to help himself towards that catalyst of the Protector. Ocelot's going to be getting the blue buff from Hercubot, who leapt from those bushes. That's going to be given across to him. There is a double ward in the bush in the top lane, so I don't suppose he's going to be getting any ganks there just yet. We're not seeing any successful ganks yet.
But he's level 6. He has boots of ability. He has that stealth if he wants to go in for it. And this is the point where it becomes very scary for Muture Makers. And also for Mikade, if he can counter gank somehow with not being able to see him, then you can pretty much give Muture Makers a huge lead in this game. And it looks like he actually will be heading topside here. So they want to shut down Kuban, who got an assist, even though he did die his first blood, but he's already getting pretty far ahead with his items. He almost has that catalyst done.
Kuban's back in lane. It fell behind in CS because Kevin just got himself a nice chunky wave, but that's going to get cleared out, and Hercubot is, in fact, sneaking up in them bushes towards that top. Ready for a ninja gank. They have enough to dive Kuban on the tower here as well. There is going to be the leap. The Polo Strike gets on towards him. The Shadow Dash layering it up. Very nicely played. Ooh. But he's going to get the kill, and it backfires horribly. Kuban will get away with this one with his life as well. That was fantastic. That creep block was a little unfortunate for Hercubot, yes, but now he has the red buff, so he can auto-attack harass Kevin even more. He's going to have his cows when he does go back and buy when he wants to. And also, I just kind of realized that Mikade, he's already fast with his W, but you add in the acceleration gate from Jace, and he's going to be pretty much unstoppable in terms of just getting to you. You're going to have to condemn him or something. But we do have actually Mikade ganking top lane, but it looks like it's unsuccessful. Well, he's going to go in there. Didn't use the Impale, though, so didn't pop that ultimate, and would be a bit of a waste on a Shen, I think, because could probably Shadow Dash out of it. Flash will be back available shortly as well in that top lane. Bottom lane, we do see them shoved up towards the turret, but no problems there. Candy Panda will clear out that wave, and that's the build water cut that's being built up by Makler going towards that plane, the Rune King. Meanwhile, I think Candy Panda's going to go a different route. He tends to on Vayne. You're looking at me. I know Blade of the Rune King. I've seen the map stats.
I just remembered something. Is that I was trying to think, where did we see Skarner last? Because I know it was at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships at CBIT this last year, because the Korean teams knew how to counter Genja, knowing he'd always take his cleanse. Or actually, no, that he didn't take cleanse, sorry. He took Ghost. So they would actually flash on top of him, Skarner pull him, and then kill him. And I was just trying to think, where was that actually from? But thanks for the random fact, though. It was nice. I try. You completely trailed off the whole Vayne point, though, but it's nice. But Vayne, what I was talking about, is playing the Rune King often is the build, and I think I've seen actual mathematical proof on Reddit recently of theory crafting their way through it that's better than the Infinity Edge. Interesting. I like to see those stats. I haven't noticed that, but yeah, I mean, it's the perfect item for Vayne. It gives you a slowdown. It gives you speed increase from that. It gives you lifesteal. It gives you quicker attack speed, so you get obviously more silver bolts procs off. But Mikade, he's waiting here to go on to Ocelot, and it's going to be a battle of who has the quicker flash key. And I think Ocelot should be fine here because Mikade is just backing away instead. And in terms of farm, I mean, look how it's kind of skewing in terms of mid laners are just free farming at this point, where top lane, not that much because it's been interacted with quite a bit, and bottom lane where Hercubot came in a little bit earlier, but in terms of everything, if Onslaught doesn't get shut down, if he doesn't, if he's not prevented from keeping the farm like this, then he's going to hurt a lot.
Well, Lemon Dogs were looking at closing out the game around about this time, and the SK at the moment are a little bit slower, as well as Meteor Makers. They were looking to try and get that gank on towards Ocelot, but he was quick and ready to just jump away from that one, zip away, no summoners burnt out. So no ganks really working out for Meteor Makers or SK Gaming. SK Gaming, the one time they tried was with Rengar. He is going to sneak back in towards that bottom lane again. Makato came around towards red. Didn't pour any wards down, though, but it does mean Hercubot snuck himself into those bushes unseen.
This is perfect because they know that Makate's not going to be here to counter this, so they should be able to pick up a quite an easy kill. And Hercubot, fast reaction, backs away as he sees the plant pop up there, right there. Obviously, would have been spotted. And here's the ultimate coming out of him. As you hear that roar, he's going to go and he's going to have that bullet strike, and they're going to try to lock down someone.
He's back on towards him. Makler getting completely locked up and absolutely destroyed. Strangledawn's going to bounce Hercubot, but nothing really going to happen from that one. Great play. Finally, they get in a gank that works.
That was fantastic. That's exactly what you want to do with Rengar. They piled all their CC together, killed the AD carry most importantly, and now we're going to push this tower in. It's not very healthy. Rengar honestly takes towers down very quickly because of his Q. He gets the extra attack speed, he gets the extra damage off of it, and it looks like that might be the first one going down. It's also actually doing a lot of damage to Charu.
He's used the shockwave already, so Charu is going to have to back away from that one. Charu also using a lot of damage and putting a fair bit out, but also winning out the duel there, it seems. Maybe just caught him out, but he has managed to protect that bottom turret. Makato coming back down with Libic, so they've fended it off for a short while. It does mean that SK Gaming, they have the pressure being applied to Meteor Makers. They have a 1,000 gold lead, and Hercubot on Rengar seems to be working so far.
Yeah, it definitely has been, and it looks like with the way he's going, it's going to be for a Spirit of the Elder Lizard, I think, since he already has a Spirit Stone on its way. But he did go for the Boots mobility very early on. He wanted that right away. He wanted to be able to roam around the map quite a bit and really help these ganks come out.
Well, Kubon, meanwhile, in his top lane, he's got himself the big workings towards that Rod of Ages. He's going to be having a big rod to start with. And, of course, Charu going to take away that blue buff. And he will be in towards the mid lane. Kevin is definitely struggling out, starting to have seems against Kubon here. We do see in terms of CS, it is still pretty even between them. Of course, Candy Panda building up that lead in the bottom lane against Makler. As you would expect, he did just go down. Makata just at the side, wants to get on towards Ocelot, but he's already heading off to the side to get the blue buff.
And it looks like, yeah, it looks like Hercubot actually might gank after this as well, because his ultimate will be up right now. And he wants to maybe catch Kubon with his pants down, because that would really help get Kevin back in the game.
Yeah, he's definitely having a moment right now. And it does seem that Rengar is working. I'm impressed. I'm gonna reserve judgment until the end of the game, of course, because we have two different junglers we've not seen for a long time here. Makata on Skarner as well. Maybe going back to his roots, seeing if it can work out for him, because Meteor Makers, maybe this is what they've discussed. They had a long discussion yesterday after their problems, and they went down 2-0, of course. It was against Fnatic and Gambit, so they can't be too hard on themselves. But I guess if they want to get to the Season 3 World Finals, these are teams they have to be beating. And certainly, SK Gaming is definitely a team that wants to get to them Season 3 World Finals. But honestly, right now, they just got to get out of 8th place.
I mean, yeah, we mentioned that for Meteor Makers in particular in the pregame that they don't really seem to have a wide champion pool. You know, if Kubon doesn't get Elise, he's probably going to play Zac, but it's just shown right there. Makati playing something a little bit different. Makler playing Varus, which isn't played too often, and it seems like they're trying to, I don't know, take their old roots and kind of update them a little bit and see if they work. Where
is Makata going? We're seeing a 3-man stack in this bottom lane, but Makata's coming around towards Kevin, and that turret is really very low. Kubon's going to be pushing it up. He's actually got a great deal of mana, but he's got the minion wave. He's got that siege minion, and they could go in and put the pressure on towards Kevin. That turret is going to go down. He's just going to have to back away from this one. Makata's not even going to bother because he realizes the turret will be gone.
And of course, we all know Meteor Makers as being that team. If they get the first turret, then they tend to have a really good time within the game. I believe 5 out of their 6 wins within the first couple of weeks were actually them taking the first turret. So Makata coming around middle, and Ocelot popping that flash, getting away here, but he still gets pulled.
He gets the impale, the hammer knocks him back in there, but Hercubot's going to come in, flashes away from that shockwave, jumps on towards Makata. Is it going to be enough? Makata getting very low now. Kevin on towards him with that standing knight. He will get the kill. It's Ocelot that takes it.
And look at Hercubot and Kevin turning that gank around, getting them a kill, getting a red buff on Ocelot, and now it looks like a dragon on top of that. So phenomenal play of SK. They turn that completely around and are going to give themselves a really big gold lead here.
Yeah, no chance of that smite still. So Meteor Makers, even if they do come in for this one, it is very dangerous play. Of course, we see Kubon in there. Libic just off to the side. Can they get the grasping roots? No chance of that. Hercubot cleans up and takes the dragon. Now they're going to keep on pursuing, but that grasping roots will stop the attack.
have to agree with you about the Rengar, by the way. I mean, I'm pretty impressed so far. I mean, 0-1-3. I don't want to get my hopes up too early, but with just the ganks he's been doing, if he continues to counter gank like that and turn the ganks completely around, SK are going to get even further ahead. But right now, because SK did back away, Meteor Makers are going for a 2-man pusher on this middle turret. They've already gotten one, and they're looking to pick up their second.
Well, they're going to see the teleport. Ocelot's returning to this mid lane. Kubon trying to be as aggressive as he can. Hercule actually taking a lot of damage, but they protect the turret. It's still 1-1 in terms of turrets. 2,000 gold between them. Not a great deal, but SK Gaming with that smallest of advantages. Makata on Skarner's still really been able to make an effect, honestly. He did get that kill in that top wave, of course, but we just saw with the Impale not working out on Ocelot, the rest of the team reacting much quicker. MYM, though, are in a very good position to push the wave. No, they're not, because Ocelot just wipes it out.
Yeah, and to me, okay, so the Skarner, it's been shut down in a couple of ways because he's usually a resistance take. You just build up the resistances so that shield doesn't drop so you can keep your speed up, but also because he doesn't have a gap closer. And most junglers these days will have a solid gap closer to get you. Look at Jarvan, has his EQ combo. Look at Elise, you have the Repel and the Cocoon. He doesn't have that. All he has is his ultimate. You do have Rengar stuffed it up. He's going in.
There's going to be the Shockwave ball. It didn't land this time around. Crescendo comes out there. There's going to be the Chain of Corruption, and that will be a kill. Hercubot going down this time. The one Stranglethorns popping Ocelot up in the air. He's going to get caught out. There's going to be another kill. It's Kubon that takes that one away. Meteor Maker's going to take down the middle turret as well. Great clear up. Just like that, they turn the game back around on its head. Kubon's going to get caught out. He's going to see Candy Panda coming in. Doesn't matter. Doesn't get the shot off in time. Kevin picks up the kill. It's a 2-for-1, but nevertheless, mid turret goes down.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, where if Hercubot goes in, is he just going to get pulled right away by Makade? Right there it happened. He obviously didn't get the whole Orianna Shockwave combo with his ultimate working out perfectly. But still, if you can't make those combos work when your whole comp is kind of based around that, then you're not really going to win this game. But SK on the push now, get this turret very low. And Kevin's actually really tanking at this point.
He is actually tanking and face tanking that turret for a long time. The pressure actually on Makla. Makla's got to be careful he doesn't chase that one. Had the 2 silver rings on him already. Candy Panda would have put a lot of damage back down towards him. Of course, he has got that Blade of the Rune King completed, which Makla hasn't got yet. So there is a bit of a power spike there between the two AD carries if they can get it in place. Charo, of course, continue to poke off with that Mana Muni already built up. He's going to try and get that Mirror Mana completed as quick as possible with those basic attacks.
And one thing, actually, because you pointed out the sword, or the Blade of the Rune King on Candy Pen, I looked down, he has a Negatron cloak at, 18 minutes in, 19 minutes, and I was thinking, Ryze is like a strong counter to a Vayne. If she doesn't have Cleanse, doesn't have a QSS just yet, you can lock her down and she'll get piled on. They're going for a Boosto here. They should be able to get his Charu a little bit too late on that. But the Ryze, very good counter. You build, obviously, the Frozen Heart. There we go. I was looking for the name because you haven't seen it that often, but build the Frozen Heart, reduce the attack speed, then you lock her down, and then, of course, Charu, who 002, 192 CS, he's doing very well. He'll just jump right on top of him and blow him up. Yeah, and his Kevin has actually built the Runic Bulwark as well, rather than Hercubot. So like you mentioned earlier on, you're wondering how they were going to build it. Looks like he's going full on aggression. He's got that, what do we call, what's the Spirit of the Ancient Golem?
Yeah, no, I know, I'm thinking what we call it. It's the greedy lifesteal item, I believe it is, that Jack likes to call it, or... No,
that's the tank one. You're talking about the Spirit of the Spectral Wraith.
Spectral Wraith one, that's what I'm talking
Don't worry,
about.
there's so many of them.
Yeah.
It's really hard to remember which one does which, but... Yeah, so
fists aplenty.
But yeah, he's actually going semi-tanky because he realizes he's going to be the one pulled if he does jump in like that. And he doesn't necessarily need to depend on his damage because Ocelot is 2-1, 200 farm, already has a death cap now, so he knows, like, I just need to survive. I need to get the ball in there at the right position so Ocelot can pull that that trigger and then just kind of blow them up. And we do have him towards the top side for gank. He does have ultimate available, and with the double red buffs, I think Kubon could die here. Now we also have Nif coming up.
Yeah, Nif is going to sneak his way in there. Kubon has got to be careful. Makata's going to sneak around the side there. He's going to go straight towards that tri-bush. Nif will see him coming, backs away, puts that wall down. They know that it's a 2v3 situation, but that's actually not going to worry them, I don't think, too much. Kevin, you can see, actually baiting this one, but they pinged on towards Nif. They know it is there, and they may have to back away from this one. The fact Nif has that Oracle as well, clears out that tri-bush ward, and that's going to give them problems, give them a little bit to worry about. There's a 3-man gather in that mid lane that is heading north, though, so that's going to surely cause SK to back away.
I actually thought they were doing Baron there as they just wanted to put a ward down, but look at the control that SK has. I mean, you see that they have wards through the jungle towards the top side, so it was kind of saying that, hey, we want to take your top turret, but because of that and the Oracle, they saw Meteor Makers coming every single moment, and if they did ward towards the top side, Candy Pay would have pushed middle, and it would kind of cancel each other out, but a 4-man push from Meteor Makers middle, they still have 2 top lane, but they're too scared to actually dive Kubon at this point.
That to me was a little worrying for Hercubot. Kubon barely did a combo there on Hercubot and took half his health off, because he's not built any magic resist, anything tanky. That's got to be a warning sign, because if they probably get hold of him, as in Maka and Kubon, or maybe Sharu as well, they will demolish him. So he has to start getting a few items, gets that Ruby pistol in there.
Yeah, actually, is he going for a Triforce? I think maybe for a phase with that. I don't know. We'll see as it goes on. I was thinking maybe a Black Cleaver because you can stack that really quick with your Q, but we'll see obviously as time goes on. And Nif going to be clearing out some wards here. And just as you pointed out, Quicksilver Sash now done for Candy Panda. So he realizes that, just imagine, the damage that Hercubot just took from one combo from Kuban, imagine if that was on Candy Panda. He would have exploded. So the QSS is going to help him out, going to get him out of potentially the pull out of Makade, or the Rune Prison coming out of Kuban.
And that Manamune already completed into a Muramana, got that last Swift for Sharu, so he is going to be starting doing some damage. So I think Meteor Makers actually might start being aggressive now that he's got that item completion. He's just backing off to buy, so this will be just in time. Dragon will be spawning though in 1 second. Is he going to be too slow back? He's got teleport available, remember. So will SK Gaming go straight in for that Dragon? Meteor Makers have positional advantage right now though.
And they have an Oracle they just picked up onto Libic. So looks like they're going to try to battle each other out with this map control. And I think the way Meteor Makers is set with Kuban being that strong right now, that SK is going to have to give this one up. You do have Kevin though top lane. He does have his ultimate, and actually SK can just go for a push middle here if they want instead, but Meteor Makers are having none of this. They might come in for the backside and go for a pull.
Well, are they going to get on towards Nif? It's going to get slowed down by Ocelot. They may turn the aggression on towards Makata, taking half of his hit points off there. As you mentioned, Kevin is continuing, but look at that. Condemn on towards Kuban, getting half the hit points taken off him, ripping him apart, jumps in with that shockwave. Is it going to be enough? Living getting caught out as well. He's going to go down. Kuban's already dropped, and that is 2 quick kills for SK Gaming.
And that combo has to be so frustrating for Meteor Makers. Just seeing a Shen invisibly come in with the shockwave, it's so hard to kind of counter that, and that means Meteor Makers has to invest in so many pink wards, because Libic, he just bought that Oracle. Now it's gone. That was 400 gold wasted, and he's going to have to invest in so many pink wards, which he's actually picking up now. Because when you see SK coming at you, you have to have the inkling that Hercubot's there, and he's coming with more than one person.
And if I recall, Libic generally doesn't get GP10 items. We'll have a look in a moment.
Yeah, never.
You can't see the items. He never really gets them, so that's going to hurt. The fact that he's just lost a 400 gold item, you can see he's got that pink ward on him. But Meteor Makers are also a team that always invests heavily in pink wards, so maybe it's not the end of the world. But so far, this combo that SK Gaming have conjured up is working very well. Maybe that little playbook of Ocelot is starting to play into the hands of SK Gaming.
I think maybe they just wanted everyone to think they were out in last place and then kind of just surprise them out of nowhere with this combo and then just pretty much go undefeated the rest of the season. As Char's chasing down Nif, he sees that Oracle, he wants it, but doesn't know where everyone else is, which he actually could have probably got that in the end. And so he backs away. Hercubot now, actually, so he's underfarmed compared to Makade. He's equal in levels though. Doesn't really have too much damage just yet, as his item builds haven't gotten too far through. He's on 1,000 gold, so it looks like the Phage or the Frozen Mallet or the Triforce, whatever he's going to go into, will come out relatively soon. As now, Ocelot, I mean, we talked about him being very farmed. 276 CS, Morello Nalicon, and a death cap. He is going to hurt.
Yeah, he's over, I think it was nearly 2,000 gold ahead of Sharu in that mid lane as well. So just had a glimpse of the gold, and it was very much in his favor. You can see he's chunking down that top turret as well. That is going to be the second turret of the game for SK Gaming, all square 2-2. And so many times we've seen Meteor Makers, once they start losing that big map advantage they have, shrinking back into their base.
And I'm trying to think, I mean, pretty much SK covered all their bases in terms of how Meteor Makers are going to get a kill here. I mean, Candy Bandit, he will have an out. Ocelot doesn't, so that's like the big thing for him, but he doesn't need to be anywhere near close to them having Hercubot as his BDS, his ball delivery system. So I'm looking at it like that, and who's Makade going to pull anymore? It would have to be Hercubot, who's just going to keep spamming, getting tanky as much as possible. Candy Panda shouldn't really be touched here. It's going to be hard for MYM to really lock someone down and go for the kills, while SK side, we haven't seen their combo work perfectly just yet. I mean, we saw the Orion ultimate miss, I think, 2 times. It only hit 1 person last time, so we haven't seen the impact that it can possibly make.
Yeah, and you don't really want to catch on to Nif, despite the fact he would go down very quickly. You're pulling someone that could crescendo you into your team, so it's like, no, send him the other way. And actually, looking at Nif, he's just been so ballsy right now, just going around that whole jungle area. It is going to be Kevin they've actually pulled in. Shadow dashes away. Have they got enough hit points? They should do. He will take him down. What are they going to take from this one? Can they go pushing him for the Baron? They're going to try and shove straight down the mid lane. Can they get on towards the inner turret?
They might be able to. And look how quick they killed Kevin. He's the tankiest member of the team right now, as he's actually building towards, it's like a Randuin's off of that. But wow, they may have committed a lot to that. They should be able to get the turret though, so they committed a lot of ultimates, but they want to get the gold off of it. They want to make plays happen. They want to gain that control back, but Nif's not letting that happen. He's really just harassing from the side, and that threat of that crescendo is really making Meteor Makers back away.
Yeah, forced them away from that one. They didn't really know where It was Candy Panda who disappeared off the map, and he was actually in the base a long way away. And we are going to see them continuing to show. So SK Gaming turning it back around. They want to push on themselves.
Yeah, it looks like we're having. I mean, they committed. Let's see, two big ultimates from flashes as well to pick up that kill. And it looks like Candy Panda gonna get caught, but not gonna take too much damage. And he's actually doing a lot back to Libic there, so that actually might pressure them away. They might be able to take this down and kind of even it back up. Actually, we'll take the lead here by even further. Yeah, that ball control from Ocelot as well is going to poke it back in towards Makata. Does manage to put command attack and drive him down a little bit more. And that's two members of Meteor Makers actually taking a little low from this one. I feel with the next wave, they're probably going to take this turret down. Meteor Makers are still defending it with 3 members. Actually, no, Makata hasn't backed off yet. Just off to the side, we are seeing Hercubot. Are they going to maybe go for that combo once again? Kevin's pushing the top wave, has got Stand United available. This is dangerous play for Meteor Makers to stick around. I think they're going to let this turret go. Kenny Bear just taking the turret the entire time as we do see a pull happen. They went for the Impale, but straight away the Crescendo backs it up. There's the Shockwave, Makata going down. They are going to get Hercubot in revenge though. Makler on that one, they hammer away on Candy Panda, quickly uses that QSS to back it away, but look at that piercing arrow catching on towards Candy Panda and Ocelot. Makler continues to chase this one, condemned backwards and just driven away from that one still. It's a 1-for-1. The tower did go down. Candy Panda with that defensive pull just stopping him, dropping to Sharu's poke. But everybody backs away. Nevertheless, it's SK Gaming that got the turret. And you saw them pull in Hercubot, and Nif was like, okay, I'll help you out. I'll help you out. As he crescendos pretty much the entire team right there. But you saw how quick they killed Makata. He's the tankiest member of their team right now. And with the Orient Ultimate, which only hit him again, they were able to like blow him away. Of course, they had to retreat, obviously, the back of that. And if you look at items real quick, we do see Hercubot. He picked up a bone-tooth necklace, which I have to say is a really ballsy item. He thinks he's going to get kills. Yeah, you're pretty much banking on the fact that you're going to be picking up kills and assists to really stack that up. I think that's going to be his only like real major damage item for him. But you're depending on that fact. If it doesn't happen, you just wasted so much gold for that item, which you could have built towards something else. So we'll see how that works out for him. And as he does stack those trophies up, we'll go over the, I guess, the landmarks of it. Not the landmarks. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. As he gets a certain amount of yeah, something like that. It stacks itself up regardless. Yeah, we'll get to that when that actually happens. Well, we did see Mickey Soul Stealer in OGN as well, so we're starting to see those stacking items. They are very ballsy to work out. It worked out in the OGN, so we'll see what it works out here. Of course, that was a little bit different because it was Faker that was doing it. Well, frankly, he's a bit of a god in the mid lane. We are seeing Makata trying to catch on towards. Does get the Impale on towards Nif, pulled straight back in. Kubon just melts him down. Kubon now taking a little bit low. We are seeing Ocelot. Oh, Ocelot teleported the wrong place at the wrong time there, and he just gets melted by Libic and Makler at the side there. That's going to be Chain of Corruption. It lands on Kevin. Makata just going to dash away. And like you mentioned, the speed he has, it's a 2-for-1 right now. Hercubot trying to get in. There's not really a great deal to use though, because Ocelot teleported in and was instantly killed. And I was a little unfortunate from position right there, but Dragon is up. SK's going to go for it. And did you see how fast Makata was on that starter with the Shurelya's pop? With this W, he was ridiculously fast, was able to catch Liv and also get rid of that Oracle as Meteor Makers are actually going to pressure them away, down to pink themselves, and actually try to take this Dragon here. Not sure if they're going to go for the Dragon. They're simply just forcing SK away from it. Probably going to wait for everybody to respawn. They have got teleport and Sharu if is required. Instead, they're going to clear out that bottom wave as well. SK haven't gone back themselves. You can see just sticking off the side here. And are going to actually start off the Dragon. This is dangerous because Meteor Makers have full vision. The thing is, they waited long enough, though. They timed it in their heads that, okay, if they're backing right now, we have about 5 seconds to wait, then go back in. They get it. The ballsy play works out. It gives them a little bit of more gold income as they're up about 5,000 gold, and it looks like they want to be a little aggressive. Candy Panda still hasn't been reached yet in these team fights. He's been in the back just attacking for free, and that might be a problem that Meteor Makers has to deal with eventually. Well, it will be eventually. Well, it's definitely something they're going to have to deal with. He did manage to use that QSS in the last fight on the tower to quickly get out the grasp of Kubon. We'll certainly be doing it again if Makata gets on him. But like you mentioned, the speed that Makata has, it's scary for anyone. He will be able to get in and kill them. We saw Kevin already being killed, the most tankiest member of SK Gaming. So if he gets into the right spot, anyone can go down so far for SK Gaming. They have the damage available. Infinity Edge now on Makler as well, along with that Brutalizer built up by Sharu, possibly going for that Black Cleaver. He's just going to have all the armor penetration in the world once he completes that. The thing is, you mentioned about SK getting the team fight going, and this is what we've seen in European LCS. I think that's why we don't see Fnatic do the split pushing as often anymore, or even SK make that happen, is it's all about team fighting at this point. And with the composition that SK has, they want to team fight as much as possible, where Meteor Makers, they want to catch one person, blow them up, and then have a 5-on-4 fight. SK, it's all about, can Ocelot land that one ultimate? And we saw Frownlord do it, which pretty much confirmed their spot in the summer LCS split. But can Ocelot do it and get them out of that 8th place tied with, was it tied 7th or tied 8th with EG?
They are bottom right now because they lost to EG earlier on. So they would be tied if they won.
Okay.
If they won, they'd be tied back with EG, but of course, that is not a done deal just yet. Hercubot actually in a dangerous situation, just using his ultimate here, going in towards this one, and Mikado actually grabbing in Nif. He's going to jump on Sharu, try and lock him up, but look how quick Hercubot goes down, just melted instantly there. You do see this good shockwave landing. Mikado's going to get taken down from this one. Makta's already down. You're going to see SK Gaming picking up 3 easy kills there as Limit gets dropped as well. Kevin going to sniff towards, see if he can get a call onto Charu, but Hercubot, well, he went deep. He wasn't tanky enough, but the rest of the team benefited from it.
I looked at it, I was like, I wonder if he's thinking right now, I have made a grave mistake. I just jumped into the backside. But the thing was, it zoned Charu. It forced him to attack him, which allowed the rest of SK to clean up those kills. So Mackler, he was out of position. So was Libic, so was Mikado. They were separated 3v2 with Hercule in between that as a sandwich. And unfortunately for MYM, it didn't work out that well for them, even though they exploded him.
And more importantly for SK Gaming, they got kills and they got an objective. They took down that middle inner turret. Big advantage gain there, taking away a lot of vision. And again, the gold continues to stretch in their lead. Close to 7,000 gold now for SK Gaming. Is this one of the victories they've been looking for this weekend? Our Meet Your Maker's going to have a torrid 3-0.
Well, hopefully we're going to find out another 10-15
minutes. Whichever way you look at it.
Yeah. Hopefully we're going to have to answer that very soon. And Ocelot, he just picked up his Void Staff. He has Home Guard boots. You saw how much damage he did to Mackler in that fight. He might have the damage now with the Void Staff to actually one-combo him down. And if Mackler falls, that is a large portion of the damage. Because look at his items. Infinity Edge and Blade of the Rune King. Doesn't do as much as Charu at this moment, but considering he's a lot farther range, it's definitely a target you want to get out of the way, and it's obviously someone Meet Your Makers wants to protect.
And the problem is Meet Your Makers were so focused on dealing with Hercubot, who just jumped straight onto Sharu at the background. They all turned towards him and completely forgot about Mackler. And then you saw Kevin just shadow dash across, say thank you very much. Easy kill for the team. And now you have very little damage, honestly, because outside of Mackler and Sharu, there is not a lot of damage there right now. Kubon can get the damage down if he can get close enough, but is being kept away from the fight so far. Nif's got to be careful he doesn't get caught out. Quickly speeds himself up. Oh, not quite dodges out away from the Shock Blast there. Sharu does catch him. Them Shock Blasts are going to start doing some damage. You can see he's got that Black Cleaver completed now. Yes, there's a lot of scary damage items across actually a number of members of both teams.
Yeah, and I was actually looking at Candy Panda specifically because keeping in mind that he built Blade of the Ring King, then Quicksilver Sash right after. And now he has a Fan Answer and a Last Whisper off of that. He's 3-0 and 5, 270 farm. He wasn't really punished for not having a lot of damage early on, but because SK's been picking off a couple of members here and there, really fighting some fights where they knew they had the advantage, they're able to take advantage of this completely. And now Candy Panda, a little careful there, but with the QSS, if he hits it quick enough, he won't be locked down.
Look how many pink wards are around that mid lane from Meet Your Makers. You talked about this early on. There's at least 4 I can count. Looks like Mikado's going to go in. Who's he going to hook on, though? Wow. It doesn't matter, because Candy Panda's just ripping him a new one, and he's having to back straight away from that fight.
And that shows you that QSS early investment. It allows Candy Panda to be more aggressive. It allows him to feel safe. And because of that, Mikado is running away with his tail between his legs, which is a little hard for Scorpion to do. But Kevin, he's still pushing bottom at this point.
Yeah, the split push is on right now, and he's doing a wonderful job at it. He's got that Sunfire Cape running its own. He's so tanky as well. And look at this, it's going to be the ultimate use. Hercubot's going looking for the fight. Not going to land, though. Trying to get in there. The split push continuing in this bottom wave as well. Kevin, he's going to be working it down. We do see Sharu's going across to deal with it. Has got teleport available, remember. He will clear out that wave, but it's going to get a little bit of poke. Not a great deal. Kevin is running away from it. I think this is just actually a delay tactic, though, because we see that SK Gaming have started off the Baron.
And that pink ward, as you see right there on the right side of your screen, just completely saved at Meet Your Makers, I think. If they didn't see him coming with that stealth, they might have exploded with the ultimate coming out of Ocelot. As Charu's still chasing Kevin, just pushes him away, though. And that turret's going to fall just from one hit.
Just hammers him away, takes the turret. That takes it to 4-3 in turrets. 30 seconds on the next dragon as well. So that may actually be the next focus target. They ping down. SK Gaming switching across and maybe just going to rush straight for this inner turret. No, it's the blue buff.
Oh, we do have a teleport coming from Charu. He's coming in middle. He's trying to get behind him here, and he's not going to be spotted coming in. This could be very bad for SK if they get in the right position at the right time.
Where are they going to go? They've got them locked in position, and you can see they're pinging it, saying, we've got them trapped here. We need to deal with them. Kevin is actually going to spot this in just a moment. SK Gaming wondering exactly where the team are. Here they come from behind. Shock Blast will trigger the attack. They're going to go in. It's actually Ocelot they catch on towards. That's going to be Stan United coming out. Ocelot gets dropped before the Shockwave is used, though. They're going to get back on towards Hercubot. Hercubot taking low. Kubon's been dropped, but look at Candy Panda. He's tearing through Meteor Makers, one shot at a time, pinning through them. Makna's going to go down, spins across, goes to Kubon. Makana goes down as well, takes both the Kukia brothers down in one clean sweep, and it's going to be SK Gaming shoving through for the inner turret.
And that was with them not in the right position. That's also with Ocelot dropping right away. They knew who they wanted to take away from that fight. Get rid of Ocelot. They won't have their combo, but they didn't calculate in Candy Panda and his insane damage. Playing stupendous this game. I can't even think of the right word for it.
Charu pushing down the bottom lane, but it doesn't matter. They're losing the inhibitor turret here. SK Gaming taking massive advantages from a clean fight that honestly it was Meteor Makers that initiated it.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of knew they needed to make something happen, and they were in a really good spot to work with it, but Kevin's ultimate right there, which creates so much help on Ocelot. They committed so much to kill him. The String of Thorns even coming out, not to disrupt SK, but to kill Ocelot only, and you don't want to blow everything on one person, because even if you do kill him, you're like, oh, I have a Vayne to deal with, and Candy Panda is pretty tough to deal with at this point.
Oh, Ocelot teleporting in. He wants that blue buff. He's going in for Charu. Charu is very, very low. The attack ball will catch him out, and just like that, thank you very much. I'll have my blue buff. We are ready for Baron, guys.
It's kind of ironic considering Charu always runs teleport in, and Ocelot was the one to get behind him with the teleport to make that happen. But he's standing there right beside Baron. There's 2 wards on it right there now, though. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be a long dance. Meteor Makers, they have to deal with those super minions coming in from the bottom lane, and they actually already started up here. Now there's 3 wards in that pit, and it's going to take a while for Nip to clear those wards out with that Oracle.
He's going to come around, and you can see the Baron already down to half health, though. That's just simply with Ocelot and Kevin doing the damage. Makana's off at the side there. The attack ball used to spot him out there, catches on towards him, and it instantly takes a third of his health off straight away. Makana really can't get close to this one. Shockwave used out there, doesn't matter. Candy Panda pokes him down. That's the Baron picked up. It was actually Nif that got the Baron. That's dangerous play there, because that means the smite wasn't quite in the right moment. But nevertheless, it was a clean pickup for SK Gaming.
And this is all 5 members with a Baron buff. And looking at their goal, they actually do have 1,300 spent on Ocelot, 1,000 onto Hercubot. And they're going to push up this middle lane. And keep in mind, with this Baron, they can take a little bit of chip, back away, and let that bottom lane push. This is like textbook style now. And SK, they should be able to execute this perfectly.
SK Gaming have to be feeling so confident. Kevin can tank up this turret for days there. Candy Panda's going to chunk it down, and that's exactly what he's doing. 16 tens the kills. This is going to be the second inhibitor turret of the game going down. No real damage going down, honestly, because of that. Them shields, that damage that SK Gaming have got are just melting those turrets, and that's the second inhibitor turret of the game going down. SK just going to rotate round, go straight for that top inner turret.
I'm really curious because we mentioned on the top of the show that SK look a little, invigorated from all this. We finally picked up a couple of games here and there, and maybe the key to their victory is playing champions they enjoy, because they're doing phenomenal now. This looks like a completely different SK.
Absolutely. Seems to be working out well. And like you mentioned, that ball delivery system, a stealth delivery system effectively, and a Shen delivery system. There seems to be
too many systems.
Everybody coming in on top of Hercubot, and he's really the key moment. That's just with that Rengar seems to be working out very well for them. Makana, again, he can't even get close. Once that ball of Ocelot gets on towards him, it will take half his health, but just like that, Charu also proving that he can strip off half the health of Ocelot. 16-10 in kills. It is 11,000 gold lead for SK Gaming. 8-4 in turrets with the super minions. They're pushing on towards the Nexus turret at the bottom.
Oh, Juicy Mikhail trying to engage her, but he does die.
He just gets melted. Doocy Chain of Corruption landed, but Kuban with that shield. The Seraph's Embrace doing as much as it can. There's a lot of damage onto SK Gaming here. Shockwave just melted Meteor Makers though. Hercubot jumping in. He gets room prisoned up. Kuban taking down to nothing. They just need to hit the damn turret. Makler, wow, one combo from Ocelot, nearly wiping him out. Oh, it doesn't quite catch him again. Will pull the defensive ball and takes down the inhibitor turret. This is the 3rd inhibitor of the game. Double super minions now coming out of SK Gaming base, and they're going to back off that Baron buff, paying dividends right now, and they are doing a wonderful job. Surely that is the match shown up. We're going to have to wait though.
And that is what an Orianna can do if you don't shut her down early on. Taking, was it 3/4 or 2/3 of Makler's life in one QW right there? Not to mention the ultimate just dropped Libic right off the bat. And if you can't kill Ocelot, or if you do kill Ocelot, you still have Candy Panda roaming around, who he's pretty much fully built. He even upgraded his QSS into the Mercurial Scimitar.
Scimitar, yeah, it's something we don't see too often either, but 6-0-7 right now. Candy Panda playing that perfect game. And as you mentioned early on, who is Makana going to grab onto? It's not really
Look what
anyone.
Ocelot just bought.
Ocelot gets a Mercurial Scimitar. Well, his attack damage with those basic I know what you call them. What do you
Clockwork passive, I believe it is.
I don't.
Clockwork wind-up.
I'm thinking what he throws out. They're like,
Oh, the gears.
The gears. Do you think that's what they are? Gears. That kind of works. I can live with that one. The gears that he throws out does a lot of damage to turrets, nevertheless.
Yeah, they do, and he just doesn't want to get pulled because he realizes that Mikade, he's trying to find something to do, someone to pull to really make plays happen, and you pull Nif in, then they have a Crescendo to follow up. If he does get out of it, if you burst him down, you still have to deal with Ocelot. I mean, do have Hercubot. He's ulting up. He won't be spotted coming in here. This could be very bad.
And look at the speed, the stealth. He goes in, catches onto Kuban, but he does flash away just at the right moment. Didn't use that shockwave either. The double super minions are going to be pushing in. Simply a game of waiting for SK Gaming here. Got to be avoiding those shock blasts, so that's not going to help too much. The Bolo coming out from Hercubot, but only on towards the minions. Makato thinking, I really don't know what target I can go for, honestly, guys. There's not really a great deal I can do about it. Magda throwing out those arrows, the piercing arrows, anything they can do to just slow them down. But the fact that there's double super minions coming in the bottom, the top, and the middle is causing them problems. You see how much damage they're doing. Crescendo gets used up. It's Kuban that gets caught out. Libic will go down. Makata just not able to even get in and impale anyone. Charu tries to go aggressive. He does manage to get Ocelot down, but the rest of the team comes straight around and react. Candy Panda with a double kill so far, looking to make it a triple. Every single bolt he makes on towards Makla is crucial, and we can see Candy Panda actually taking low. Kuban might be able to get him on the fountain, but it doesn't matter. They're going to go around, take the Nexus turrets down. It's going to be SK Gaming picking up their first win of the week, which means Meet Your Makers are going to go 0-3 for the weekend, but that will mean a lot for SK Gaming. They have to get a win.